Okay, so what kind of situation do we have at the moment on Euro PLN? We have a market that has created a beautiful impulse to the upside. We had spoke about it already. We have a market that was and is overextended to the upside, creating this overextended W formation. Now, if we want to measure this retracement, the possible retracement that the market is supposed to create, what are we supposed to be doing? Taking our Fibonacci from the low to the high of the impulse. And what we can clearly see, we can see that the market hasn't retraced to the 0.382 yet, which is the first Fibonacci level at which the market is supposed to retrace. That is why it's our first downside target for this pair. Now, from the first time that we spoke about this pair, the market has already created this beautiful impulse to the downside. And in fact, after the market did manage to break below the structure, we were able to find a nice entry with students on this trade to the downside, which we are still running. We did not exit the position even if the market started this retracement. We continue to run the trade risk-free. Now, the point of this video is showing you, since the market from here should make a retracement before the continuation to the downside, how you can be looking for a potential opportunity to join the move to the downside for another leg down. And with students, we will be looking to compound our trade to the downside on this trade, if obviously you are not already in the move. Now, what kind of situation we have at the moment from a COT perspective on the euro? So what hedge funds are doing from a euro point of view at the moment. Let's go and get our data and see what kind of situation we have. Now, from a euro perspective, we can see with the last reports that hedge funds have been adding a lot of euro shorts. Now, obviously, if you look the longer term, yes, we went from having negative net positions to positive net positions. So in the long term, euro is bullish, but if you look at the shorter term, we went from 86k to 78k. So a decrease in the net positions, meaning that more shorts have been added than longs. So overall, our retracement is definitely expected in the euro, and in fact, on euro PLN, the market has already started to melt, as we have seen. Now, going back to the chart, how we will be approaching this with students. Very simple. We know that the market already created the impulse and broke structure to the downside. After this, if the market will actually give us a retracement, that is what we want to see. Because if the market from here, next week when the market opens, it just melts to the downside target, we just take our profits on the trade to the downside, and then at that point we will have to adapt and see which other opportunities this pair will possibly create in the future. But if instead of melting immediately, the market next week will start a nice retracement, then we have a lot of structure around this area, which was support and is now turned resistance. And what I suggest and what we will be doing with students, so what I suggest you to do and what we will be doing with students is monitoring price action from a 4-hour perspective instead of this area, waiting for the market to shift from a bullish market to a bearish market from a 4-hour perspective. So to spot when the retracement will be over, and at that point, what we will be doing when we will see that the market is shifting from a bullish market to a bearish market, we will be monitoring and waiting for the market to provide to us one of our valid entries. And as soon as the market will provide to us one of our valid entries, then we will be taking a nice short with a very good risk to reward and very good probabilities for another trade to the downside and compound our first trade. Now, if you enjoyed this free analysis and education, make sure you drop a like and a comment. It really does support the creation of more free education and analysis for all of you, and I will see you in the next video.